We're grateful that we have this opportunity tonight to come together and worship and continue the thoughts that were started this morning. We were in the second chapter of Titus, and God had given instructions on the appointing of elders, deacons. And as we looked at that, we looked at the qualifications that God had given. But when Paul wrote to Titus and emphasized putting elders in every congregation to lead the flock and to equip them to be the leaders, he continued in that chapter to talk about the congregation, the whole unit, the family of God. And that's what I looked at tonight, because in the end of that second chapter, the grace of God that bringeth salvation has taught us that we should live soberly, righteously, and godly in this world. That's the foundation principle of the Christian life, on which all these things are built. The title of the lesson tonight is The Grace of God Teaches Us. In other words, when we open our Bibles, it's a book of instruction. It's a book of not only revelation, but it's a book of instruction, practical instruction on how to live. And it's denying ungodliness and worldly lust. We should live soberly. And that word sober casually means level-headed. Level-headed. Knowing where you are, who you are, and where you're going. And that we also live righteously, that is, in a way that's fair to every person, doing what is fair and right. We should live godly in this present world, that is, follow the instructions of God with a spirit of reverence and respect for those things holy. In Matthew 5, Jesus, in what we call the Sermon on the Mount, said to the people gathered around him, there must have been a multitude of people that gathered to hear him. He said to them, you are the salt of the earth. In other words, you're the best thing that earth can have. But if the salt loses its savor or flavor, how shall it be seasoned? If it's lost what is its power, it's worthless. It is then good for nothing, but to be cast out or thrown out and trampled under the feet of men. And then using another metaphor, he says, you are the light of the world. And we know the value of light, and without it, life could not consist. He says, a city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. It's put there for a purpose. And by the way, most early settlers in any society built on the hillside for protection. But also it made them noticeable from a distance that everyone traveling in direction could see them. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a bushel, or you don't cover it. You put it on a lampstand, and it gives light to all in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works, that you glorify your Father which is in heaven. So we have been created for a purpose. We've been created to bring the best of life out. That is the flavor. And we've been created to direct and lead others in the right direction. That's what Christian is all about. In Ephesians 4, Paul is writing to these people who had been heathen worshipers. They had gone to the marble temples. They had served the foreign gods. But they heard the gospel, they believed, and they obeyed the gospel, so there came a great change in their lives. And the letter was written to help that change take place and change them into what God wanted them to be. And before these verses 20 through 24, he was describing what their former life was as heathen worshipers. But he continues, but you have not so learned Christ. That's not what you learn from Christ. If indeed you have heard him and have been taught by him as the truth is in Jesus, that you put off the changes that must take place when one is converted. Concerning your former conduct, put off the old man which grows corrupt according to deceitful lusts. And not only that, be renewed in the mind, in the spirit of your mind, and that you put on the new man, which was created according to God in true righteousness and holiness. The Greeks had their way of understanding things in life. And when identity changed to them, when they were converted, they likened it to a person putting on a new set of clothes, being a different person. I think probably in our own minds we can relate to this because as children growing up, I can remember how I grew up. When I got a new pair of shoes, I thought, oh, I could fly. Or if I got a new outfit, I wanted everybody to see it. It made me feel good. And it is true that when you put on something new, it livens the spirit. That's why people go shopping. That's why people buy new things. I know my wife was cleaning out some things yesterday, getting out the fall clothes and the winter clothes, replacing the spring and summer clothes, and making comments about each outfit and how she'd like to have some new ones. I guess all of us are like that. Boy, when we put on something new, we feel new. And Paul is saying to these feelings, you have become new in Christ. And then in John 3, Jesus was talking to Nicodemus, who came by night. He was a Jewish ruler, and evidently he didn't want people to know that he'd been to see Christ. So he came during the night. And he said to Christ, how can a man be born? Jesus said, you must be born again. And he asked the question, it's a sensible question. Can you be born? How can he be born when he's old? Very interesting question. Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? And Jesus answered, most assuredly I say to you, unless one is born of the water and the Spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God. So he's showing the relevance of the change that takes place when we put off the old man and put on the new one. When we're converted, we no longer serve ourselves, we begin to serve God. That which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Peter had put it in this way when he was writing concerning them being the light of the world and the salt of the earth. Since you have purified your souls. The soul refers to our lives, that part of us that lives eternally. It's obeying the truth through the Spirit and sincere love of the world, and love one another fervently with a pure heart. Having been born again, this process of the change that takes place when we're born again, that is putting off the old person and putting on the new one, is this change that is called obedience to the gospel. You weren't born of corruptible seed, that's the human seed, but of incorruptible seed, the Word of God which lives and abides forever. And that brings to mind Romans 6 verse 4. Therefore we are buried with him through baptism into death, that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in newness of life. So there comes a time of change in our lives when we give up the old person and take on the new. And that takes place when we obey the gospel. It's called the new birth. And that's what Paul is writing to Titus about as they are converting people from the heathen culture, and they're being brought into the sunlight of the gospel and taught the truth of God's word. And he told, as he wrote to him, but as for you, speak the things which are proper for sound doctrine. And that doctrine, the word doctrine, is the foundation on which all else is built. It is the foundation. It's not only is the truth and principle on which the church is built, but it's a part of governing the lives and conduct of each Christian, at whatever age he or she may be at the time of conversion. That is what Jesus meant when he said, you are the light of the world and you're the salt of the earth. Each generation must hold Christ up to the world, or they will not know the truth and be saved. Now we're getting to the very heart. Grace came teaching us that denying ungodliness and worldly lust, we should live soberly, righteously, and godly. But how do we do this? How does this come about? Those who teach the word will be held accountable for what they teach, as well as how they demonstrate it by their daily living. speak the things which are proper for sound doctrine. And then when he says that, he begins to lay out the necessary characteristics of the Christian life in each age group. He begins with older men, then he goes to older women, then younger men, then older women, then younger women, then to the children, and then to workers. On every level, he's talking about the change can be seen. It's deliberate, and we're aware of consciously putting into effect, because when we take off one outfit and put on another, we exercise our judgment and we exercise our energy. In Titus 2, that the older men be sober, be reverent, temperate, sound in faith, in love, and in patience. We've heard of we talked about that word a few minutes ago, and we said something about it this morning. Sober literally means being able to control your life. It carries with the idea that a sober person, in fact, it has become so universalized, that means actually having your appetites under control. And specifically in Paul's time, it referred to people drinking and becoming drunk. And so sober meant that you did not take wine to the extent that it would make one drunk. Because when a person is drunk, they're not in control. They're out of control. And because they're out of control, they can harm and be hurtful to others. So it's very important that in all times in our lives, we don't allow ourselves to get out of control. On an appetite level, on a drinking level, on a judgment level, on any level. And this comes with age. This comes with deliberately choosing that which develops strength spiritually within us. And then he refers to that they should be serious. There are some people that go through life, and to them life is a lark. And life is just a time to be happy all the time. And if they're not happy, they feel like they've lost out on life. But there are times for seriousness, where we face the issues of life fairly and squarely, and realize that we are underlined accountable for our lives. And older parents, particularly older Christians, in rearing their children, point out and underline the word serious. Be serious. And then, their older men are to be temperate. And the word temperate carries with it this idea of soberness too. He has everything under control. He has his temper under control. He has his thinking under control. He has his appetite under control. And he is not excessive or hurtful in any degree. And then this triple admonition, that the older man be sound in love, in faith, and in patience. And the idea of soundness, I don't know why, but usually when I think of the word sound, this wood is sound. But if you knock on something that is decayed, it's going to crush, and your hands may go through it. I was watching television tonight in a place in, I believe it was New Orleans. Well, they were building a building, and the building fell down today, and evidently many have been hurt. And they're constructing the building. The building was not sound. It could not stand on its own and withstand the pressures that would come to bear upon it as a building. As a human being, there are those pressures that come upon us that we must stand against and not be overcome by. And so when we're sound in love, that means our love is singled in the right direction to the right people to the right degree. And that we're to be sound in the faith, not wishy-washy, but that our faith, that is our belief in what God has written and told us, we stand firmly upon it, and we stand sound in patience. Patience is a very wonderful thing. We like to think that it sometimes comes with age, but it doesn't always come with age. It has to be learned, and it has to be practiced. And then, leaving the older men with these words, he goes to the older women. Now, most of the time, women don't like you to think about their ages. But who is an older woman? Do any of the men volunteer to say, I'm an older woman? Well, most of the times we like to think that we're young, but there reaches a time in life, chronologically, that we reach an age where there is a dividing line where we shift from one category to the next. I realized the other day that I'm an older man. And I thought, that came suddenly, but I've been an older man for a long time. And there are things required of me as an older man that were not required of me as a younger man. There are things required of an older woman that are not required of a younger woman. For this, we're talking about a growth syndrome, going in stages and developing strength. And even though, as Paul mentioned, the outward man decays, the inward man or person is renewed day by day. So in a process, there's a spiritual process along with the physical process. As we physically grow older, it's possible for us to grow spiritually stronger. And that's what we're talking about, the spiritual strength that should be in the older man, that should be in the older woman, about the fact that they have lived and faced the trials, temptations, and accepted the values of life. The older women to be reverent in behavior, respectful. Not slanderers, not just speaking against someone because you want to talk. Not given to much wine, again. It refers to all levels. Teachers of good things. Some of our greatest teachers are our mothers. Some of the lessons we can learn in no other way we learn from our older women who are the mothers, the grandmothers. They're the ones who are the backbone of life. And when I look at the world around me, and Greg especially, as you led that last song, Give Us Christian Homes, I think of how much havoc the devil has wreaked upon society by destroying the foundation and doctrine concerning the homes. Society today wants to take the man out of the sequence, or the woman out of the sequence, or combine male to male and female to female. The devil is working very hard to write in the laws that would prevent Christians from standing up and talking about marriage being between a man and a woman. Older women teach these valuable lessons to their children, while the children are yet not quite able to understand, but are in the perceptive stages of seeing it acted out in the relationship between their own parents, where a mother acts as a mother and a father acts as a father. And grandmothers and grandfathers do the same. And that they are not, that they're the teachers of good things. And that they have a sober responsibility. The older women are to teach the younger women. Teachers. Where could we be without good teachers on either male or female sides, but especially in the church? Teaching goes on at all times. Not just here in the auditorium, but not just in the Bible classrooms. It takes place in the kitchens. It takes place in sporting activities. It takes place everywhere where children are taught the principles of reverence and righteousness and spiritual living. And that they admonish the young women first to love their husbands. Why would you have to tell a woman to love her husband? Because love is learned. And love must realize that it's a two-way street. There are women today who say, well, I don't need a husband, right? And some are married and they say, well, I know I want a husband. I don't need a husband. Well, they just get out of here. And they deny the very principle of loving their husbands. They're taught to love their children. Think of the brutality going on in the world today because children are brutalized. And the mothers sometimes resent the fact that they have to bring them into the world. And there are millions of dead infants because of abortion. Children are not wanted. And we could spend a long time talking about this, but I don't have to tell you that you already know it. To love their husbands, to love their children. The greatest gift that a parent can give to a child is love. And without it, life can be a failure. And then to be discreet. Oh boy. Here's thousands of lessons. Discreet means that she teaches the younger women to be careful about their modesty, their speech, their conduct, their actions. Because, as mentioned in the prayer tonight, the world is looking at us, looking at all of us, and they see us as we are its members of the world. And we must remember that we are the light and we are the salt. And God has given us that responsibility. And one of the greatest things God could ever give is a woman who lives and loves and respects what God says. That she be chaste. Well, the advertisers of garments don't like the word chaste. Oh, it does if they think someone's running after you. The word chaste means that their clothing is such that it does not invite undue attention to them. And that's very, very important to understand that they're homemakers. Boy, homemaker. They're not talking about a kitchen, they're not talking about the living room, they're talking about the fact that a family lives cohesively together. They're bound together. And there is this respect. The husband gives the wife, and the wife gives the husband, and both of them give their children, and the children return to them. A home is made, and that is the foundation on which the church rests. Solid homes. That they be good, they're obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God may not be blasphemed. And the older women are often the backbone of the church, since they support the leadership and have a crucial part in teaching the younger women by example, as well as living Christian lives before others. The older and the younger women, the older women act as in the presence of God at all times, reverent. Not putting down others with gossip. They must be sober when it comes to wine. They are instructed to teach their children and others to be good, productive things for the Lord. And the younger women are to receive this instruction from the older women concerning conduct and being a young homemaker parent. To love their husbands and their children. Centuries have proven this is absolutely necessary because of the tragedies that come from these areas. A great number of crimes committed by people today can be traced back to their homes. That's why homes are so important. That's why God created them. That's why He told a man and woman to form a marriage and have children, bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. The husband and wife do make a difference, and they can solidify that which is taught and show the caring atmosphere. And she must love her husband. She is to be discreet, wise choices in the best interest of the family. She is to be chaste or modest. Homemakers. Good refers to putting the welfare of others before her own. And then obedient to her own husband. I don't have to emphasize that we understand that. In order that the word of God may not be blasphemed. It means to speak evil of. And there are those who castrate the homes and say they're not necessary. You know, at one time, during communism in China and Russia, they created cities. They took the children from the parents and they raised them as if they were raised in an orphanage. And that's weakness of communism. One of the great weaknesses of communism, they took the instructive value of parents out of and created their own home atmosphere. And therefore, we should understand this. Now, the admonition that the Word of God be not blasphemed is put between instruction of the older women, younger women, and then instruction to the younger men. And the younger men, but it fits all levels that we're talking about. Young men are to be sober-minded, level-headed, not creating havoc or flaring up and trying to hurt. Showing yourself to be a pattern of good works. Since the letter is addressed to a young preacher, the remarks addressed to him in this context also refer to all young Christian men. There is nothing more beautiful than a Christian home, nor a Christian wife, nor a Christian husband, or Christian children who are following in the steps of their parents and setting a foundation for spiritual growth, not only in their homes, but in the homes that will follow after they have left this world. This is a building that will not fall. Not like the one we talked about a few minutes ago that fell apart. And now, as we continue, he's writing to Titus, in all things showing yourself to be a pattern of good works. There's nothing more beautiful than young men who stand up for what's right and do not allow them to be in the flood that has taken over the world that leads away from God rather than toward God. And he says to this young man, let your life be a pattern of good works. Here are young men who are instructed to follow the teaching of the Lord, and they want to do good for others. Like our warrior group or a prayer group of young people here. They want to help those who are hurting. And they want others to understand that they spiritually are growing, and they want others to understand that they recognize they are an integral part of the church, and the church can be strengthened by what they do, and they can be made more mature as they do what they're doing. And that's so very important. And then doctrine showing integrity. That's honesty. That they show reverence. That's respect for things holy. That they be incorruptible. They cannot be led astray. They can say no when someone suggests doing something that's improper. That their speech can be sound. In other words, it's not a speech that can be condemned. And that one who's an opponent may be ashamed having nothing evil to say to you. I am amazed when I go to the preacher's luncheon. I'm one of the older preachers there. Brother Huffaker and I sit together, and he's over 9, but we're the 2 oldest preachers there. And we look around at these young preachers, and sometimes they get up and speak. And it amazes me at their spiritual growth. And I rejoice over the fact that the church has strength. As these men are being trained to go into areas and teach the gospel and to be a strength in whatever program in the church they're a part of. It's something beautiful. These young men are serious about their service to God, and they develop honesty and reverence, and they want their speech to be pure in service to God. In Titus 2, he says, exhort bondsmen and servants, and these are workers. Then it was slaves. But today, there are those who work for others for money, an income. And the instruction given here refers to that today. What kind of worker am I? Someone says, don't hire that person, they won't give you any work. In other words, they won't work. They want a paycheck, but they don't want to work. You tell these workers to be obedient to their masters, that is, the bosses. Do what they're told to do. That is, it's within the area of what the job calls for and what they have agreed to do. To be well-pleasing in all things, try to serve in a manner that the boss can be pleased because he knows the product has to be sold. not pilfering, not stealing, not taking things away. I'm going to stop here long enough to relate a story about a man I knew several years ago who worked for a large industry in Chattanooga. He had worked with them for years, and he had been a very valuable worker. But one day, as he got ready to leave work, he noticed a piece of equipment. It was a file, a normal file, but it had been used to such an extent that it would probably be discarded by the factory where he worked. And so he thought, well, they're going to throw it away, I'll just keep it. So he put it in his little lunch container, had a little handle on it. And when they left work each day, they had to have those things searched. It didn't occur to him that it was something of value because it was going to be thrown away. And they caught him with that file in his lunch container, and they fired him. They fired him because they caught him. In his mind, he was not stealing, but by the things that he had signed to live up to, it was. It's pilfering, taking something that doesn't belong to you. And so he lost his job, and later lost his life as a result of an accident on another job. But show good faith or fidelity, a full day's work for a full day's pay. And there